Last week, us Hytale fans were blessed with a new blog post. This blog post takes us on a visual tour through the new character customization and how the physics engine works with throwable objects in the game. We got plenty of gameplay videos and in-game screenshots in this blog post, and today I'm going to be going through everything important and all that us casual fans may have missed upon reading. If you want to see more Hytale content like this, please consider hitting that like button and subscribe, as I post Hytale content every Monday and Friday. And with all that being said, guys, enjoy the video. We'll start off by taking a look at the gameplay, and then we'll move into taking a look at the in-game screenshots. The first video we get to see is of this girl's hair color changing in a panoramic shot. We get to see 16 different hair colors and some really cool furniture in this player's house. Firstly, I noticed a super cool hoodie that the player is wearing in this video, and the shading makes the hoodie look super realistic. This player is also wearing some super short jeans, which a lot of people do wear nowadays. The furniture in this house looks super cool and it is extremely detailed. The bench behind the player looks super comfortable. The windows have really cool detail. The cups on the table look nice. The chest and what looks to be a blue light in the background also give the house a nice warm feeling to it. Other than that, there's not much else to be said in this video besides if you want to slow it down, take a look at all the decoration in it. I'd recommend it. It looks super cool. The second video is a gameplay scene of a player throwing and stabbing hay targets with a spear. This scene looks to be in Zone 3, which is really cool, also my favorite zone. Get it? The cool joke? Pun intended. It starts off with a player stabbing the target with that spear with a pretty cool thrust sound. I have to say, I'm not the one who noticed this. I watched in the Littlewoods video, and he said the thrust sounds a little too heavy for like a lightweight spear, or like, because spears cut through the air pretty easily, so I'm not sure if there would be so much wind coming off the spear. Maybe like that sound could be for battle axe, so if they maybe lighten the sound of the spear thrust, it could make it a little better. Then the player draws back its spear and throws it into a target. The spear has a charging effect, kind of like the bow, which is kind of weird because there's no tension strings to pull back on, like a bow or something like that. But it could just be a sound that lets the player know that like it's fully charged and you can throw it at maximum distance. Once the player lands 2 spears in the targets, they go to stab the targets with their spear. While the player is walking towards the targets, we see plenty of mushrooms and a cool little patch of mossy blocks that we can see just around. There's also some cool like snow in the background, like a snowy wall, which also looks really awesome. I love how it looks in Hytale. If I did miss anything on any of these videos, I just want to let you guys know to comment them down in below, because I probably did miss some things. I tried to watch the videos as many times as possible to pick out every little thing, but if I did miss something, just leave it down below. The next video demonstrates the physics engine in Hytale with throwable rocks. Firstly, in the video, the player throws a rock at a tree, and we get to see the rock bounce off the tree and head back to the ground. We can see the rock have one noticeable bounce and then like a set position. Once the rock hits that set position, we can see it arrange itself to be picked up again later. It kind of like it hits the ground, then it bounces, then it has like a little fumble, and then it like twists, and it's in like its pickup position, kind of like that. I don't really know how to explain it too much. Later on in this video, the player attempts to throw a rock as high as possible up a tree. The player throws the rock pretty high, and we get to see the rock bounce off the tree and start falling to the ground. When we see the rock hit the grass, when it's falling, the grass actually moves, implying that the rock hit it. So I have a feeling this will be like an effect, just say if you walk over grass, or if a mob walks over grass, or something like that. Also, it'll probably move in the wind too, as we see in some other videos. The rock then bounces down a full block and takes a rest position once again and readjusts itself to be picked up once again. Lastly, we see a demonstration of a rock hitting 2 different surfaces. The player throws a rock and it bounces off a tree to a snowy wall and then heads back to the ground. It's really cool how you can like have it hit off 2 different surfaces and then hit back to the ground, which is really nice. I love how the physics engine works, but to me it's kind of wonky when like the rock hits the ground, because it kind of just like stops. If there was like 2-3 mini bounces in between, that would make it like more realistic. But if that's hard to do for the Hytale team, then I'm okay with it how it is right now. I have no complaints. It looks great. But if they could add that little extra like couple bounces like how actual stones work, then that would be cool. I feel like the option to throw rocks can be a really useful thing in Hytale as like a form of distraction. For example, it would be cool if you are very undergeared early game and you try to lure out a torque with like a simple rock throw. So just say there's 2 torques and then you throw a rock, you maybe lure one away so you can just get out like a one-on-one. It would maybe make the torque camp easier if maybe you could lure out 2 or 3 torques so they check out the rock, and then you maybe go after like the hunter or something, the shaman or who knows, or the chieftain. These throwing rock videos can prove a theory that many of us Hytale fans have about the early game, ever since we learned that you hurt yourself once you punch a tree in Hytale, so many of us speculated that we'll need to get some small rocks or some small thatch or plants to make like a very weak axe that we could use to chop down a tree to get basic materials, just like Ark. I'm personally a fan of this, as I am a fan of Ark, and I would love to see this in the game. There was one more video that I want to talk about, and this video was definitely the most popular one from this blog post. You guys guessed it, it was the poop throwing one. We see the player walking up to Budacat, who actually, I noticed is that he actually has full lowercase letters in his name, and also we saw Ninja Charlie T also have full lowercase like as his name tag, so it leads me to believe that there's not capital letters in Hytale name tags. I'm not sure if that's like confirmed right now, but hopefully they can change that, because I would love to have a capital in my name. In the background, we can see some deer in the far back and a small house on like the little right side. We also get to see, for the first time, a baby ox or cattle, whatever they like to be called. We see that you can press F to pick up poop, so it looks like F will be like the interaction key. It's pretty much already confirmed that it will be, but this once again just confirms it even more. One more thing to note is that we can see a cup of water in the consumable section of the hotbar, or as we know it as the radio wheel or menu. Does this confirm that there is a thirst system in the game? Because that would be really cool if you have to like fill up a water bottle or like a water jug, so that you can, once you go on your travels, you have to drink. It'll be really cool. Okay, now we'll get to the best part of this video, the poop throwing. Let's get it. We see Boudica gets a literal face full of poop. There are a few things to point out here. One, the poop actually does damage. So many poop game modes and poop guns, I'm assuming, are going to be in the works once Hytale starts. The first thing I think about this is like the fart gun from Despicable Me, so I feel like somebody is gonna make a poop gun. it's bound to happen, somebody will make like a poop machine gun or something. I can even see somebody trying to defeat Varen or any bosses with just poop. Lastly, in the bottom corner, we see that the game tells you that you picked up the poop, which is kind of disgusting, but really cool. Now we're gonna move on to the images in this blog post. The first image in this blog post shows us an image of 2 characters in what looks to be in the caves of Zone 4 due to the Zone 4 looking trees in the background and the blurry blue Venus flytraps. You guys, you see that alliteration of blurry blue? Ooh, that's nice. Firstly, I noticed how amazing the golden accents look on both of these characters, how they have those wrist and ankle guards. I'm not sure what they're called, but I think I'm going to call them guards for now, or bracers maybe. Kind of like how the Farons have the freedom bracers. We have seen that awesome beard before on that dude, but now we see with some golden accents on it, and it looks really cool, and it really ties into like the coloring of that dude with his pants. The girl, on the other hand, has a lot more to talk about. You can see her wearing jewelry, and she also has her hair ties that match with her outfit, which looks really cool. This leads me to believe that we can change the color of the hair ties to match what we are wearing, which will give a nice sense of realism. There is also a lot of clothing layering on her. The white material under the dress looks to be some sort of undershirt. On top of that looks to be some sort of blue dress. And on top of that, it was the necklace and that string around her waist. I'm not sure if the dress comes with that string around the waist or you have to add it yourself. She also has some really cool gold detailing in her hair, and both characters have them around their ankles and wrists, which can signify that they are in some sort of tribe or clan. The next image is of Propsy and of another player leaning on a nice little battle axe. This is a really cool image, also looks to be in Zone 3 just with the trees behind them. It's a really cool image. That flower in the bottom looks really nice. The armor that Propsy's wearing looks super cool. The boots look really awesome. I think I could rock those in the game if I do say so myself. His mustache, once again, 10 out of 10. Also got that little wheat maybe in his mouth, which is really cool. And also we're moving on to that girl. She has that really cool battle axe that she's leaning onto, and it's a really cool pose that she's on there. Also that what looks to be maybe torque necklace that is on her chest looks really awesome. Actually, I think this might be a new hairpiece that she has, so that's really awesome. It looks really cool, and the layering on all of these guys looks super fantastic, and it blends super well with each other. The next image is of 2 players, which looks to be in that like building scene that we saw in last month's blog post. The first player on the left has those gold bracelets or bracers on her wrists, so it could indicate that she's part of the clan of those other 2 people. And I don't know if she's getting ready to fight this like pink rabbit person, but it would be really cool to see that. This pink rabbit person is wearing the same boots that Propsy was wearing in the last image. And was it the same pants? No, they're different pants, but it just looks really cool. The chest in the background I think resembles a mailbox, which looks really nice. It'd be cool if they can actually have like real mailboxes. I'm not sure if they do, but they might. And then the rabbit ears on her look really cool as well. It's just cosmetics like this that can really just bring the game to a whole other level that Minecraft really never had to it. Next image is the gradient mapping example, and these are all gradient mappings from this wide neck t-shirt within the grayscale. So this t-shirt starts off gray, but you can probably just change the color yourself, as you can see in these like 4 different color palettes in this image right here. So we have the pink, the yellow, the blue, and the green. All of these look really cool, and the shading of the t-shirt looks awesome. I think it would be really cool maybe if you can get into like the gray t-shirt, like the actual like file of that gray t-shirt, and maybe add like a small logo to it. So if I can have like my CanadianFlash logo on there, I think that would be really awesome. Just 2 more images to talk about, and this next image is what looks to be 2 players sitting in that little like town square thing of the last month's blog post, just based on that big like building we see in the background. And they're also sitting on that fountain with the horse pretty much right now. These players both look super cool. I think this is the first time we actually see pink eyes in a player, which is really nice. The rainbow scarf looks really cool. I'm not sure if it's an LGBTQ thing, but either way, it still looks really cool. She has like rose designs on her shirt, or some sort of mini flower design, which honestly, I didn't expect that. It looks really nice, and the little pieces in her hair look super cool as well. She also has like this gray bracelet on. So I think there's a lot of different like customizations that we can put on bracelets and like ankle bracelets that can maybe signify what type of clan we're in. Moving on to the other guy, it's just another basic looking dude. He has some pretty cool layering with that little vest over his shirt. Other than that, really not too much, but the pants look really cool on him too. And now we're moving on to the last image, which was, I got this wrong in my last breakdown. I said I didn't know what anime this is, and pretty much every single human and their mothers said it is from the anime Sailor Moon. Sorry that I didn't know that. I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I just didn't know that this was from it. So we have we're gonna move on to each animal like individually. So the first up is this little dog. He's got a cute little bow and that little staff. Some people were saying, is this a lightning staff? But I really don't think so. I think they just added that just for the effect. The Quebec looks super adorable with the pink flowers on it, and they all wear that same bow shirt from Sailor Moon. Then we have the actual player, who looks super cool. She's got the little red shoes, like not Little Red Riding Hood, like the girl from Wizard of Oz, I forgot her name, Dorothy, like the ruby slippers. That's cool. Then we have the Farron, who looks really nice in that little pink bow, a little adorable. And then we have everyone's favorite mob, the Torque in the yellow, which once again it looks super cool, and the detail on all these guys look amazing. So guys, that is going to wrap it up for this blog post breakdown. If I did miss anything in this video, please make sure to comment it down below, because I know I did. I'm kind of blind half the time. I need glasses to see stuff. So if I missed something in this blog post, just let me know down below. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. New videos every Monday and Friday. And with all that being said, I'm CanadianFlash, and I'll see you guys next week.